Many recent American presidents went to public high schools. Presidents Clinton, Reagan, Carter, Ford, Nixon, Johnson, Eisenhower, and Truman all graduated from public high schools. Presidents before 1930 though were raised in the 19th century, before universally available public high schools existed in a lot of the country. Notions of formal education were quite different in that time than they are today. For instance, Herbert Hoover did not attend high school, yet he went to Stanford University, and several earlier presidents like Abraham Lincoln barely or never attended school at all. Woodrow Wilson couldn't read until he was 9 years old. As a young boy, Andrew Johnson was sold as an apprentice to a tailor and never attended school a day in his life. One of Harry Truman's teachers said, "Nobody thought that he'd go far at all." John Tyler once thrashed a teacher and then locked him in a closet. Eleanor Roosevelt was kicked out of school at 6 for lying. Franklin Roosevelt disliked his private school so much that he once wrote to his parents, "I'm hoping to get pink eye so I can come home." One of the biggest surprises is how often presidents and first ladies start school late and do poorly in school. One of the biggest surprises is how often presidents and first ladies start late and do poorly in school. You automatically think that John and Jackie Kennedy have brilliance or that Barbara Bush would be fun to go to school, but then you read in the books that John was a dreamer who could never find his books and was always disheveled, or that Jackie regretted having to hide how smart she was. In the book, former classmates described Bush as sarcastic and mean. Some presidents had trouble learning. Wilson, for example, was slow to speak and read. While his parents thought he was brilliant, his teachers thought he was a dolt. It wasn't until Wilson went to Princeton that he connected with a teacher for the first time. As he wrote to his father, "I have made a discovery, I have a mind." Ronald Reagan, in his autobiography, described himself as the last kid chosen, the self-conscious student who dreaded public speaking. But then in high school, something happened. He met a teacher who, despite wearing then unfashionable thick glasses, was confident and loved creativity, which he nurtured in Reagan. Herbert Hoover spent his first years of education at a small public school in West Branch, Iowa. He was sent to live with an uncle and aunt in Oregon when he was 11, after his mother's death left him an orphan. Later, Hoover became the youngest member of the first class at Stanford University, where he studied geology and met his future wife, Lou Henry. Franklin D. Roosevelt's mother, Sarah Delano Roosevelt, closely supervised his education, arranging for tutors and educational trips abroad. Harry Truman learned to read at home from his mother and attended several grade schools and high school in Independence, Missouri. As a child, John F. Kennedy attended several schools, finishing his secondary school studies at the Choate School in Connecticut. Lyndon Johnson's mother, Rebecca, taught the future president to read by the age of 4. He attended public school in Johnson City, Texas. Richard Nixon grew up in Yorba Linda, California, and attended schools in Whittier, California. At 2 high schools he excelled in his studies as well as in debate.